Hello, everybody. We're gonna have a little drinky drink. Today, I just dabbled into my old videos and I made a lot of them private. Like I said, I was really ashamed of who I used to be. I was going through a lot of stuff. Like, I had a whole eating disorder. I lost a lot of weight, then I gained a lot of weight. Then now I'm just where I want to be, so I'm very happy about that. And I am somewhat in a healthier state, but I was also going through a lot back in the day. But I was sitting down and watching my old videos, and it's so crazy how dead ass everything is just full circle. Like, I made some of them public again because I just thought it was so funny. I just started watching them and I was like, these were the same lessons that I already learned back then, 5 years ago. That's crazy. Half of a decade ago. I already learned these things, but I thought that I steered clear of all these things. It just goes to show that you really gotta stand on shit. This video that I was talking about why you don't need to make a lot of friends. And in the video, I was like, oh yeah, I have 3 friends right now and it's cool. I thought 3 was like a little already. And then the universe said, nope. Okay. It's just things I always overlook because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? And a lot of the times people are like, oh, if you're a friend, a real friend, you should have open communication with your friends when you have problems with them, which is true. But what if you tried to have conversations with people before and they act real avoidant? They act like things will change and they understand it, and the same things just keeps happening. Like, obviously you're not gonna want to like give it that energy anymore, you know? It gets to a point, right? And also, if I was already saying that 5 years ago, I just feel like people should have already known, especially being so close in my life. I trusted people with my vulnerabilities, right? Until it got to the point where I realized, okay, maybe they just don't care. And I was still giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm like, okay, I'll just stop sharing too much about myself, because who wants to share shit about themselves and just feel dismissed? If you're around me and you've seen how other people treated me, I shouldn't really have to say anything to you about it. Like, I already talked to you about that situation. I already said, you already seen how much it bothered me, all those things. So why do I have to repeat myself? I don't know. That just makes no sense to me. People have been around when other people did me wrong, and they would stand up for me. Well, not stand up exactly, but be supporting me behind the scenes, right? Being like, oh my gosh, like, that is so wrong. And then it's always like people going ahead and doing it to me again. But now they're doing it to me. I'm like, oh, okay, I thought we had an understanding that that was like a tough period in my life. And back in the day, I used to like blame myself a little bit for it, because I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Like, why do people keep treating me like that? No, because I'm a healed person. And I even feel like 5 years ago, I was really self-aware and already healing. Obviously, like I said, I wasn't completely healed, but it seemed like I had my head on straight, even though like life was throwing so many punches at me. I'm just confused where the disconnect is. But I'm so glad and grateful, honestly, that this time around I could sit here and just not blame myself for it. Like, don't get it twisted. Me sitting here again is just to process my emotions. I'm not even really mad at people. I'm just more so mad at the pattern that keeps happening, and just the effort and time that I spent on people. I don't regret it because maybe it helped them. But, you know, I'm not even somebody who likes to count favors, but when I start counting favors, you should start realizing that it's because you're not holding your part up. And I'm doing way more for you than you're doing for me. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we don't count favors. We actually do things for people because we're good people, but we're also not a doormat. Okay? Like, How do I explain this to people? Whatever, you get it, you get it, you don't, you don't. And then again, people will have their little minions. I feel like friend groups are like cults these days, because if you don't act the same as everybody else, then oh brother, it's a problem. There's rules to the shit. We can only be the same as the group leader. It's just silly to me, honestly. I just find a lot of things silly, especially looking back and seeing how I was already early with that mindset. I'm just like, damn. But here's the thing, like, people have their little minions who are like, oh my gosh, like, they didn't even give you proper communication this whole time. First of all, like, people just be lying, and people just be avoidant too. So why the fuck, if you just come in my life and just act like nothing happened, come on. And it's like, I just feel like a lot of people, because I don't ever say anything about how somebody actually hurt me, there were many times before I got to this point. There were conversations. There were literal other people who seen how people treated me sometimes. I don't know. I don't ask for permission when I make decisions, right? I don't ask for advice either. I do it because I know how I feel. You weren't even there half the time when the disrespect was going on, so I don't want to hear a damn word. And the craziest thing is, like, sometimes people do go through the things that I went through. A lot of times when it comes to relationships, people are like, if they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to, they would. A friendship is a relationship too. So if they wanted to, they fucking would. And I would like people to hold that to the same standard. Like, oh, I don't want to have to ask anybody. I shouldn't have to tell a grown person how to act. Okay, apply that to your friendships too. Oh yeah, we quiet now? We quiet now? Because let me tell you something. I feel like with friendships, you're even more vulnerable. That's why I always tell people friendship breakups are even worse than relationship. Because you really were supposed to be family, you know? Like, you were somebody who was there through all the times that I had struggles. And if you wanted to, you would. And I shouldn't be telling a grown-ass person how to act. So I think we should give it that same energy. And I know that my decision is right, because there are times where the people who treat me badly will come to me and be like, oh my gosh, well, this happened to me. And it was something they did to me, and they're so triggered. And somebody else did it to them. They're so triggered. First time happening. Oh my gosh, so triggered. Oh my gosh, this person chilled with somebody who I didn't like and have beef with. Oh my god.
Get a load of this guy.
You can't make this shit up. It's like, really, you're telling me that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So now I'm just a dummy. That's what you're telling me. Okay. Because you did that to me and you didn't say nothing about that. Oh, okay. That's the thing. There's a lot of things I think about before even taking out the scissors, right? There's a lot of things. And people don't understand that I do feel bad. I don't know why. I actually don't know why. Maybe it's just the little moments where people actually act right. But when everything just is so confusing, you don't know what to pick, right? So sometimes I just decide to go for, yeah, you're a good person and you're just having a bad day type shit. And I just let that continue, be a little delusional about it until I see the grand scheme of things and I'm like, So now the only thing that I could think of, because you keep doing weird things, you can't be having a bad day every single day. And even if you're having a bad day, you should not be taking that shit out on me. If that's so, don't call me up. Don't call me up. It's that simple. My misery don't like company. I don't call nobody when I'm going through something because I don't want to make it their problem. Another thing I want us to understand, narcissism is also not just in relationships, right? You could literally be manipulated, gaslit in so many ways, especially when somebody is avoidant and they act like you never brought up a situation to them before, and they just kind of twist it all around so that they don't have to admit that they're wrong. That they're like, oh, but this is not like such a big deal. Look, like I did this. And they just never see the bigger picture. They just never see the bigger picture. You could have narcissistic parents. You could have narcissistic friends. You could have narcissistic relationships. Don't forget that, because I did for a second. I'm like, oh, narcissism is only for a relationship. No, it isn't. Yeah. Some people are really good. Like, again, with relationships, people pop up and you think they're your ideal person, right? And then throughout the months and years, you see them morphing and changing into who they really are. Mass slips, right? And you're just like, dang, I got really fooled by you. Don't let that go over your head. The fact that 5 years ago I was talking about the same shit and having the same ideas. Of course people can change, like I said, but I already learned these things so long ago. Life gave me a test though, right? And people don't understand why I make decisions the way I do. But life gave me a test and it said, are you gonna fall for the same fucking shit again? No. Matter of fact, no. Matter of fact, I've been seeing things so clearly. One thing about me is you could say something to me, I'll see the undertone of it. I'll read in between the lines, under the line, over the line. I don't know how to explain it, but I just know. Under, over, in between. I just want to say I'm really grateful for myself, for not blaming myself. That's also another test. Every time something like this happens, I can't help but to question myself. Because again, like I told you guys, if somebody's not gonna take accountability for it, it feels like I kind of have to. I'm not asking for permission, and I don't think I ever asked anybody validation to leave. Everybody could do what they want to do. Like I said, people have different experiences with other people. They get different versions of other people, so I don't know. At the end of the day, my decision is because of my experience. You know, if anything, I feel bad, but not even for myself. But life be testing me, and I have to pass the test. I'm sorry. Maybe people should just leave me the fuck alone. Honestly, please just leave me alone. I prefer that. Honestly, I do prefer that. If people would just leave me alone, if they're not coming with the right intention. People just be using me half the time. And somebody knows that you've been through a lot of vulnerable and hard times in your life. Trust me, most people are going to use you and also put you through the same situations. People say that about relationships. Oh yeah, don't tell your new partner what you've been through in life, blah, blah, blah. But it's the same thing as friendships. You tell them and they do it to you too. It's so crazy because they know, oh, you've been through that before? All right, so I could put you through that again. But, you know, especially if you tell people how you figure things out, oh yeah, they're gonna try to move more slickly about it so they won't get caught. But you will get caught. It's just really being a part of somebody's life, listening to all the pain, seeing the pain that they've been through, and doing the same shit to them. It's always wow. Yeah. I just want to say, honestly, I could care less if somebody supports my decision or not. I just don't care. I already did it because I don't give a fuck. Who gave a fuck when they were hurting my feelings? So now that I'm putting the boundary right up there, don't be confused now. At least I'm not putting people in confusion. Like, I end things off on a good note. I try to, but there's no use of speaking to people who act like nothing happened. and oh, we're just gonna continue with it, and oh yeah, you're very forgiving, so maybe if I just give you a little apology, which you don't even know what you're apologizing for. I shouldn't tell a grown person how to act. I'm gonna be real, I should not. Isn't it so crazy? I'm not gonna lie, like I said, it's deeper than that. Like, I observe how people treat other people too. Nah, I'm good. I am good. But yeah, you know, I've been super tired recently. I think that these little mind games people be playing on me, of course, takes a toll on me. And of course, that's what they want. That's what they want. People always realize things too late. And I don't even think they realize it for real. They just don't want to look like the bad person. And that's why when I leave you, I just leave. Because it's not even, oh yeah, you know or care about what you did to me and made me feel. No, it's just you don't want to explain to other people, or you don't want to even admit to me what you did wrong. And I see that. Like, I see that, and I know your patterns, and I know who you are. Like, hello? Just because you don't sit there and take in who I really truly was as a person doesn't mean that I wasn't genuine and there and seeing the patterns within you and seeing you move throughout your other relationships and stuff. It's just people are too worried, you know, projecting and trying to make you look weak and get some leverage on you, that they're not even taking in how they're already showing you how they are with other people as well. No thanks. Listen, sometimes I think that people understand this, but I feel like low-key some people don't. It blows my mind. But thanks for listening. But I just want to say I'm gonna have a good weekend. I'm gonna be celebrating my grandma's birthday. I'm gonna be spending time with family. I've been having a lot of deep conversations with my parents. It usually happens at nighttime, and we stay up till like 1 a.m. just sitting together, talking about life. And I just think it's very sweet. And this is like something that's helping me see things in such a great light, you know? Like, this is something that I've always wanted to have, for everybody to be able to have a little safe space to talk about how they feel. We're family after all. And I already know we all are very strong people. So just having these little conversations with them, staying up late at night, just having a little debrief is amazing. You know, I'm gonna focus on beautiful things. I just don't like toxic cycles. And I want no part of it, really. I'll see you guys in the next video.